Okay, so we're recording now. Okay, very good. So, going into our presentation, so we're gonna do what can I do with the TSM major? Like I was mentioning earlier, we're gonna try to invest this to be a conversation about the TSM program. What are some outlooks? What can you do, because it is a multidisciplinary study, and we're gonna start off with a little introduction from our Professor Kevin Moriarty, and then going into some information about the Career Center and what we can do for you guys, and some resources that you can take with you and can spend some time researching on your own. And then we're going to go into some focus within TSM, because you guys have this option of doing majors, minors, and dual degrees and all this. And we're just going to touch some examples. And then we're going to have our student speaker, Mayora, share his experience. And then we have a graphics. I have a graphics ready for you guys. I'll share toward the end of our presentation. But just to the graphics and kind of zoom in on the spot in alumni spotlight and see what they're doing as well. Okay, to get our presentation started, and I turn it over to Professor Kevin Moriarty.
Well, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. As the slide says, and as Kashani has said, I'm Professor Moriarty in the Department of Technology and Society, and I've been in the department for 23 years. I started out part-time within the department teaching engineering students within the College of Engineering. My core was engineering economics, which I still teach. I'm the only one that's been teaching that here for 23 years. Required for the mechanical, civil, and TSM majors. I worked in industry for over 45 years, and I worked as an engineer. I started as a civil engineer, and then I changed over to manufacturing engineering. And then I moved into corporate America, and I was a plant manager for a major corporation and also executive management for a few international businesses. And in 2013, I retired from industry. And I loved giving back to the community here. I really loved the department. So there was an opportunity here within Technology and Society teaching the TSM program. So I gladly jumped on board. And so I've been full-time faculty here now since 2013. And my core background is industrial engineering. So I worked in manufacturing. I understand manufacturing. I understand business. I also hold an MBA. And I really, and I fit very well into the department. And as you all well know, if you're in TSM or if you're thinking about coming into TSM, bear this in mind, we are student focused. And I am, because I come from industry, very career driven for students. I want to help students get internships. I've worked closely. I want to work even closer with the Career Center. So these opportunities like this, you should spread to all of your classmates that it's a great opportunity to link with the Career Center, because they do a phenomenal job and they're in the same parallel path as we are in TSM, and that is help you guys achieve your career goals. Whether that career goal is get a job or go into research and stay in academia. So with the TSM major, you've got the most flexibility within the College of Engineering, because you have to take the management side, and it is not a business degree. It's a management degree. So you're learning management, and at the same time, you've got to take a specialization. And the key thing about the specialization that you must understand is that it's more than a minor. If you're in the College of Engineering, you can get a minor in another engineering department or field with 18 credits. To specialize in an engineering or a natural science within TSM, you must take 21 credits. So the specialization is one class more than a minor. So as Mayoa has said, he's minoring in the entrepreneurship, right? Because the entrepreneurship, he can do that parallel with doing our program, right? Because that minor requires 18 credits. A major requires 21. For our specialization. So, that's one thing. And the other major thing is that you get your choice of what you want to specialize in. So you can specialize in. Now, what we see is most of you students want to specialize in either computer science or information systems because they are they're the major buzzwords, the buzz departments of major careers in today's market, right? The benefit you have with our program is you can do that and still have the management skills. And it gives you a lot more. I mean, unless you want to be a sit down at the bench coder and you want to develop the next greatest code for systems and things like that, that's a computer science degree. Okay. But if you want to work in the department, but eventually have the aspirations to manage that department, that's where we come in. Okay. So, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, but you don't want to sit at the desk and just do design of CAD design and doing, finite element analysis and all the core engineering stuff, you really want to, roll your sleeves up and get engaged and get involved. You want to be on teams. You want to do project management. That's us. That's what you're going to get with us. So you've got a lot more choices in what you want to do. You've got a lot more flexibility in what you have to take. And in addition, you've got resources here with us, with myself as the undergraduate director, with Rita Reagan-Redco, who does a phenomenal job with all you guys in planning your careers and so forth, that we try to give you as many resources as possible. We've had students that have come out of our department that have gone into sales. Trevor Pernice, you saw the log from him. Trevor is actually working for a company that I was the vice president of North American operations for in previous positions. So he specialized in electrical engineering, and today he's a sales engineer for Festo Corporation. We've had students who specialized in mechanical and went into manufacturing engineering. We've had students who have specialized in computer science and have gone into project management, right? Interesting story that came through channels back to me about our program and what we do. A tremendous amount of Stony Brook engineers go to work for the MTA, right? Mass Transit Authority for New York. And there are a lot of Stony Brook engineers that work there. And one of my daughter's best friends was working there as a staff member, and she's working in the engineering department. And she's talking to some of the engineers, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, I went to Stony Brook, so forth, so on." And they're saying, "Yeah, I majored in electrical engineering, but I took some courses in the Department of Technology and Society because they're in engineering, and they were really, really interesting courses, and they were geared more towards my profession rather than just the design work." Okay, so what the benefit you get in this program is that you get both sides of that. You get the structure and the rigor of the design work, but you also get the qualitative, subjective side of the management work. Okay, while you may see when you're looking for jobs that you're finding it a little more difficult when you tell prospective employers that you're majoring in technological systems management, and they go, "Huh?" They don't understand it. They don't know what it is. I always like to tell you guys, if you're going for an engineering type position, you just short and say it's engineering management or it's technology management. Okay, because that's what we teach. Now, mind you, if you want to specialize in chemistry because you want to work as a chemist, but you don't want to be the chemist, you want to be the lab manager, that's us. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity. You've got a lot of flexibility, and we try to give you a lot of resources and choices in what you want to do for your career development. I am always available. My office hours are posted, but if my door is open, I technically have office hours. If I'm busy, my door will be partially closed. If it's partially closed, then I'm busy. But if my door is open, you are always welcome. I will end with, feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have. I am going to jump out of this a little earlier because I do have another engagement. So I may not be here for the questions and answers section, but please feel free if there are any questions that cannot be answered by the team here, send them off to me, and I will gladly either have a Zoom call, a phone call, or even, as you can see, I'm in my office. I'm here 4 to 5 days a week anyway. Feel free to reach out, and I'll answer all of your questions. So welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And I expect that this is going to be a great session.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your time. And thank you so much for a great introduction into our session today. And we look forward to continuing partnering up with the TSM department to create more interactive events for our students. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So I'm going to now move on to our introduction to the Career Center. So just like how Professor Moriarty was mentioning about our relationship with the TSM department and the Career Center, the fact that we are working together is shown in the way that we are doing this presentation. The more we work together, more we understand about what's needed for our students, so we get to do presentations and give you more information in any way possible. So the idea behind this presentation actually grew from an interaction I had with a couple of TSM students who said, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm about to graduate, I don't know what to do. So we met with Professor Moriarty to discuss, like, well, how can I help our students? And that can only happen if you guys are coming to the Career Center and you are asking those right questions, so that we can ask questions with the TSM department to give you the information that you need. So a great way for you guys to get resources and contacts, alumni interactions, and those resources is to come to the Career Center. And we are based with a career community model. Like I mentioned earlier, that Todd and I are career coaches for the IT and engineering career communities, as you can see here in yellow, but we are one among 8 career communities. And the beautiful thing about this career community is there's a lot of intersection between us, IT and engineering, and applied science and research, even business and healthcare and government and public services. So it's a matter of what industry you guys want to work in. And the beautiful thing about TSM is that you can choose to work in different aspects of the industry. Even if you said, oh, Kashani, I feel more comfortable chatting with you, and you can choose to come to me, that's great. If you want to chat with Todd, great. You can even talk to Alfreda James, who is the career coach for applied science and research, because you want to go into research, and she can give you feedback on where the jobs are with the TSM major. And a great way for you to keep up that communication is to subscribe to our career community. You can do that through Handshake, just like how you registered for this event. There's a QR code right here if you want to scan and subscribe to our career community. By subscribing, you're getting customized communication from us. So I send out bi-weekly emails consisting of jobs, internships, any upcoming events. I partner with, I'm working closely with certain organizations just like Todd. And we're letting you guys know what's out there, just so we want you to be informed and be prepared for all the opportunities out there. You can meet with us for career coaching appointments. So after this, if you have more tailored questions and more personal questions, one-on-one sessions, you can come to us for career coaching, and we will help you find the connection and resources that you guys need to be successful. So that's just our little pitch for the Career Center, and I want to dive right into what is the TSM major. And Professor Moriarty covered everything that I was going to say in this slide, but it's something for us to visually see here. The whole idea behind this program is that it is a multidisciplinary study. So what I understood as a career coach, talking to students and trying to get them into a place of self-awareness or awareness about the industry, is that you have more opportunities because of the way that the program is designed. It's a matter of what makes you happy and what type of environment you want to work in. And of course, with more opportunities comes more confusion, and that's where we come in, because we get to chat with you. Professor Kevin Moriarty gets to chat with you and try to kind of decode what is stressing you out, where you're lacking, and what type of connection and interactions and experience that you guys need to build in order to find your dream job. Now, going into this slide, I just wanted to put this out here so those students who are interested There are a few of you here who are interested in going into the TSM major, and just something for you guys to hold on to and to see what you can do after you do any specializations. You can go into a master's study that is provided through the university that focuses on educational technology, global technology management, and energy technology and policy, and or get an advanced graduate certificate in industrial management and a PhD program in technology policy. So just so like an information page for you guys to hold on to. And now going into our question to get you guys interacting with each other. So my question here, to make this a more productive, more interactive session, I want to open up with a question here. Where are you in your career exploration with the TSM major? I know some of you guys are, I am thinking about TSM, but those of you who are in TSM right now, what is in your mind right now? Where do you see yourself? You can unmute or put or chat. I just want to get an idea.
Unmute and participate, everyone. We want to hear your comments.
It's okay if you said I'm just confused, I need help. We just want to get an idea so that you know that you're not alone. Maybe it could be I'm still exploring. I'm about to graduate. I don't know what to do. Where are you at right now?
Oh, hello. Can you?
Go
Hello,
ahead.
Trevor.
Hi. So I'm still trying to figure out if I want to stay with Tesla or try and start applying elsewhere. I've been looking at a lot of like entry-level business and financial analyst positions or audit positions that I feel like I'm personally very qualified for. So I've been sending out applications for those. I really just started like last week, so I haven't heard really anything back yet, but I'm still trying to weigh my options between Tesla and what else is out there, because every day I'm learning basically new positions I didn't even know existed previously that I'm actually pretty qualified for. So still looking, but it's going pretty well so far.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing. And could you tell us your specialization or any minors that you have with TSM?
My specialization is computer science currently.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Trevor. Anyone else would like to share?
Yeah, I'd like to share.
Go ahead. I can see who's speaking.
Oh yeah, I'll turn on my
Justin.
video.
Hi,
Yeah.
Justin.
Hello. So I'm a junior, TSM major, specialization in computer science. So I'm like torn between like software engineering and product management. But right now I have a lot of more like on the technical side, like my skills are more heavily on that side. So that's where I'm applying to. But I also applied to some product management roles. And yeah, that's really where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, or maybe do software engineering first and then transition to product management, or because I know it's kind of hard to like just go into a PM role like straight off. Like I see a lot of product managers, they usually start off as like a software engineer or some type of engineering, then move on to that like management role. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Very good. Thank you so much, Justin, for sharing. You were speaking of, applying for jobs and building those connections. Where are you? What platform are you using to build, to interact and talk to people and to apply for your opportunities?
Yeah, so I'm using LinkedIn, Handshake, Canvas. Yeah, that's really the most that I've been using. So it's like heavily on LinkedIn though. LinkedIn and Handshake. So it's like recruiters reaching out, stuff like that. That's what I'm using to apply to these positions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Justin, for sharing. Anyone else? One more? Anyone who is interested in TSM and what is in your mind right now? Anyone wants to share about that?
Sure. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All
Amber.
right. Yep, Amber. Nice to meet you guys. So I'm actually a freshman this year, and I only really saw the TSM major a few weeks ago. So when I read the description, I was like, Amber, you are a very indecisive person, and you don't like being in one place all the time. So I saw how like varied this actual major was, and that's how I got my interest in it. So I'm initially under my top financial aid, I'm declared as computer engineering, but we'll see. We'll see with TSM.
That's a very good mindset to have. At least you know more about yourself and what makes you happy. That is more than what we can ask for from a freshman. So you're in a really good place right now, and hopefully we can meet with you sometimes, when at your convenience to chat about what you want to be doing. Very good. Thank you so much for all of you guys for sharing. And I intended this session to get you guys to talk about where you are at, because I want you guys to help those who are joining us today to get an understanding of, even if you are exactly in a place that you want to um, what company you want to work for, what place you want to work for, you are doing everything right. There are other students who might be doubting exactly what they're doing, even if they are doing exactly what you're doing. So now we know that you're not alone. There are others who might feel the same way, and hopefully after the session you guys get to connect with each other and have a more in-depth discussions about your experience in the program. And this is a great networking opportunity for you guys as well. So Amber, if you're feeling confused and you might want to connect with Trevor just to get an idea of what he's doing, that's up to you guys, just how you want to proceed, but it will be a great opportunity for you guys to learn it from each other. Thank you for those three of you for sharing. I'm going to go down here into focusing on career opportunities with the TSM major. So that's our main concern, right? All of us here was trying to say, did I choose TSM for the right reasons? Like, is it a good fit for me? And those of us who are here, like, I'm graduating, I don't know what I want to do. So from tangent off of what Professor Moriarty was saying, TSM major is for those students who have interest in multiple fields, but more going into technological management or engineering management here. But the degree itself is one thing, but you working in a company or in a field, that's is something else. That's why I always tell my students, your major is only teaching you theories and practice, but you won't be using all of them in the job that you are going into, because your passion might be different. For example, with the TSM major, you have this freedom to get a job in government, industry, or even education, because it's transferable. So mostly what you're learning is cultivating knowledge and understanding about your specialization, because TSM is one thing, but you chose to specialize in computer science or chemistry or physics, and you want to focus on that and say like, hey, I chose this. Now, where do I see myself working? What type of environment makes me happy? Am I someone who likes working with routine? Am I someone who likes working with people? Am I someone who wants changes all the time? All of that is part of your awareness about your career and about yourself as well. And with that awareness, we might be able to help you and identify which place would suit you, whether it's government, industry, education. And here's just a little breakdown about job positions, right? So Professor Moriarty was giving you some examples of where you might find opportunities. And here's an example of you finding opportunities as a CS major. You can go into being the manager of computer network systems or information systems, quality control specialist. If you're going into environmental studies, you can be environmental analyst with the background, or even going into sales, being a sales representative. And Professor Moriarty mentioned one of our alumni, Trevor. I cannot pronounce his last name, but I will mention his contact later on, because he's a perfect example of how your major doesn't necessarily lead to this definite job, but it does give you that background information to thrive in an industry that makes you happy. Okay, and here is a wonderful example. So, Alfreda James, I mentioned earlier, who is the career coach for applied science and research. So she gave me this example because this is one of the things that she used for TSM majors. So for someone who is interested in TSM, she uses this example of going in and specializing in geology. So as someone who's interested in geology, you might be learning what it is and the theories and practice behind being going into geology. But as a geologist, you can work in a government agency or an industry, or even be a geology teacher at a high school. So that is the industry, the focus that we're trying to get from you guys, because whatever you learned, you know what you learned. And from your learning, you might say like, hey, maybe I want to be with people all the time. Maybe I'll just like talking to people and I want to find a place where I get that exposure. And for someone who likes talking to people, so this is the example that Professor Moriarty was using, Trevor Pernance. I don't know if I'm butchering his name. So this is one of our alumni. He specialized in electrical and electronics engineering, but his field went into sales, because when Andrea was mentioning about our alumni, he branded himself as, I love talking to people. I just love being out there and presenting and sharing my ideas and sharing the products. And I just love that interaction. I thrive in that interaction. And this is a field that he chose. And he started off as a business analyst, and now he's doing sales engineering. And it's at Festo. So if you guys are interested in being in sales engineering, you know exactly the person to reach out to. Please introduce yourself on LinkedIn, create your professional LinkedIn account and make a connection. Let him know that, hey, I attended a presentation at Stony Brook University, and I'm reaching out to build a connection and to get an idea of your experience being a sales engineer at Festo. So that's how you create interactions and connections and relationships. So hopefully this gives you an idea of like how major to career connections varies because of your particular major. So now I'm going to go into one of our main event here, is a little presentation from our a fellow TSM peer, Mayowa, who's been very super busy trying to get experiences, and who recently just got an interview opportunity. So our guest student speaker today, Mayowa, would you like to unmute and share your experience as a TSM major? Why did you choose this particular focus, and why you chose this concentration and minor, and what's going on so far?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Mayowa Mabego. As I said earlier, I'm a senior. Those are my like credentials and stuff, like what I'm doing. But so I realized that like maybe like the second half of sophomore year that I really wasn't interested in being a software developer, and I didn't really see myself being interested in like more of the computer science curriculum. So I kind of looked around to see what else I could do. I guess I did it more top down. I found out about the product management and project management roles. And then I kind of did it top down, looking at those and then looking for a major that suited those. And I thought TSM was really well suited to that. I got to, keep my computer science credits through the concentration, and, I still get to take classes in computer science, which is something that, I am interested in and I wanted to have skills in. So that was really good. And then the minor in engineering and technology entrepreneurship, that's also connected to, the product management focus or goal. Being able to, understand, I guess like how, entrepreneurship in general, like technology, entrepreneurship, but, I'd already taken classes with that focus, and after this semester, I should have that declared, which is, I guess, really good. If you can take such a wide range of classes and then still be able to gain not really mastery, but like a solid knowledge base and this that kind of subjects of that kind of variety. I think that's what's really good about the major, that you don't really have to sacrifice depth for breadth, still being able to select the concentration in one of those fields, like the popular ones, like Professor Moriarty said, like computer science, like IT, as well as when you present the major, you really do, maybe this is more like an interview skill thing than like something about the major, but when people say like, tell me about like your major or what is your major, you really do get to, explain it to them how you experience it. And that's really what I do, telling them that, it's a little bit of computer science, it's a little bit of management, but I'm really trying to understand, how technology is leveraged in organizations and in society. And that's a, it's a pretty good answer to them. And So, it is kind of hard to find the major, like doing applications and like the little drop down thing, but it's really never stopped me from, I guess, being taken seriously as an applicant, or, people really understanding what it is that I do or can do or understand. And, so I think that's another good thing. And, an interview I had yesterday, one of the more technical people, someone that was a product manager that came from engineering, he was able to appreciate that I kept, the computer science concentration, even though I changed my major. So, being able to show that you have those, hard skills, and you have that, knowledge based in, some of that stuff that, is, buzzing, or, is what people recognize, is really helpful. And yeah, I guess, I don't know if I'm supposed to answer questions, but yeah, that's, I think, the best way I would explain, the major and my experience with it.
Thank you, Maria. Well, that was really great. Thank you so much for sharing all those information. I just want to ask you one additional question here. So you had this you're majoring, you have a concentration in computer science, and you have a minor. When you were job searching, right? When you were, you just interviewed. So, and you've been involved with the Career Center for quite a while now, and I have worked with you for many months now. What were your strategies in finding something that suits your expectations, the industry? What were your strategies trying to, tailoring it or narrowing it down?
So I would say, I think, at least in my opinion, I think the job market is very skills based now. So I think that, so for me, it was really looking at what skills I could get through my coursework, and what skills that I could were very closely aligned, I guess, with, what the major offered. And that made it easier to look for jobs, or to look, or not look, but to present myself a certain way with, I guess, I don't really like the word like personal branding, but or professional branding, but just a lot of the courses do present, or do give you the opportunity to gain skills that are useful. They do give you insight into, things employers want you to know. So really just being able to take advantage of that, and present yourself as, someone that is capable and knowledgeable through your coursework is really what helped me.
Thank you. And what are some job titles that you're targeting right now?
So similar to Justin, so a lot of product manager roles are like, they get called different things, like product manager, junior product manager, associate product manager, also business analyst, data analyst. Not something that I personally would do, because that's you need, I guess, a lot of skills you'd have to teach yourself, but that's definitely possible. Maybe product analyst. It's all the things I can think of off the top of my head, but there is like a good deal of variety there, and viability.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to let you all, our students here, Mayowa has been super, super involved with the Career Center, and I have seen him, with everything from beginning to now, going through successful interviewing process. It's such a pleasure to see a student grow through the many semesters that I've been working with him. And it's so nice to see that the searching process, that it's unique. Another student who is doing the exact same thing as Mayowa, majoring in TSM, concentration in CS, and even minor in engineering and technology entrepreneurship. It's a matter of what you want to do. You have that flexibility here, and your awareness and your resource can only be given to you if you ask us, and if you are coming to us, and you're connecting with the right people, and you're building that relationship with alumni, or even seniors, or even students who are still in the program. It's always good to just talk and have that conversation. And I'm glad that I was able to create this platform where you guys get to hear from your fellow peer who's been very successful in his field right now. So getting an interview and having a very successful interview shows it's a good sign that you're aware of what you want to be doing with this degree and presenting that degree in a positive way. Thank you so much. I'm going to now move into our, we're toward 142 here. So I'm just going to have a volunteer. Later on, I need 3 volunteers to read some stuff, but I want to now move on to presenting you guys with some alumni and where are they now with their jobs and what type of track did they take, and whether, for you guys to get that understanding of whether their actual major did it lead to like a direct job, or was it something it's based on their skills that was learned in their program. Okay, so our first session here is from Robin, and she's from class of 2020, and as you can see, she has her B as in TSM and linguistics. So this she went beyond. I asked her for a little spotlight information, but she's like, I'm going to do a video for you guys. So here's a video from Robin. And it's loading. Let me know if you can hear, okay? Give me a
Hi everyone, my name is Robin Shum and I graduated in May 2020 with a double major in linguistics and technological systems management with a concentration and minor in computer science. I chose TSM because I realized I was interested in the world of technology, and I initially thought it would take the form of being a software developer. I initially started out as a computer science major, but I realized I liked the application side of technology more so than the software development aspect. And so currently, that has landed me a role as a business analyst at the Estee Lauder companies. So I work in the information technology department to help out with projects related to digital solutions for consumer experiences, whether that's for retail or consumer engagement like emails or customer relations. And I most recently worked on a project where I was a project manager for a cloud migration for an app that we had for a brand called Frederick Mall, where basically the consumer goes into the store and can interact with a series of digital screens and take a quiz that recommends them a fragrance. And so my job was to migrate all of that data and that application to a cloud. The job search process was pretty straightforward for me. I went to all the job fairs and I was able to network and meet different recruiters. And I made sure to go to the job fairs every semester for both the computer science job fairs and the engineering job fairs, just because it gave me practice in talking to recruiters, but also showed me what other opportunities were out there. And the fall of my junior year, I saw the Estee Lauder companies at the IT job fair and also at the engineering job fair. I spoke with them both days, and then I was invited back for an interview. And I got an internship that summer, which was the summer before my senior year, and that ultimately turned into a full-time return offer the following semester. So I'd had a full-time opportunity by the time my fall semester ended my senior year. Looking back, if there was anything I want to share with TSM students, it'd be that your specialization does help you with the technical experience that you might need for a potential job. Like, for example, I'm a business analyst in an IT department, and so because my concentration was computer science and information science, I was able to have that technical background to help code with websites or even understand the technical processes behind cloud architecture. Even though I wasn't exactly the one deploying it, as a project manager, it's really helpful to have that knowledge. So, of course, your specialization isn't going to determine everything, but it does help to have a specialization that's in the same industry that you want to potentially go into. And there are just so many different jobs out there that it's okay to not know exactly what you want now, but your next step will be a lot easier if you at least have a couple of skill sets down.
I'm sorry, I was having some trouble unmuting. Hopefully that was really informative for you guys. Those of you who are still struggling to figure out where you want to end up in, and Robin touched upon something that I mentioned earlier, is it's okay that you don't know what you want to do with the TSM major, but it's good to know where you want to work in or what type of jobs that you would make you happy. And Estee Lauder is one of our big, one of our companies that we constantly work with. And there are plenty of opportunities for TSM students within Estee Lauder right now. When I was doing this, when I was preparing for this presentation, I looked up because obviously Robin was working at Estee Lauder, and I think we have close to about some 100-something plus jobs within, internships, jobs, co-ops, opportunities posted on Handshake. So feel free to kind of explore Handshake with some company names, because some strategies when it comes to searching is that we search job titles and sometimes we omit companies because, like, I'm open to anything. But if you just have any interest in certain companies, you can always search by their name and see what's out there. And I think we have Estee Lauder presenting, they having an info session or with their research opportunity that's already posted on Handshake. So if you guys are interested, feel free to register. It's coming up. So and after Robin, I'm gonna go into, we're almost done with our presentation here. I'm just trying to move on to the next slide. And I'm gonna have a volunteer. There's 3 slides that I want a volunteer for each to read out loud. So we have our first alumni spotlight member here, Mr. Frank Casano. And he is from class of 2002 in the TSM major. And he had a really diverse background. He had his MS in marketing, MS in TSM, BS in marketing, MS in TSM, and an advanced graduate certificate in industrial management. So anyone want to take a shot at reading out loud? Anyone?
Ooh, I can read it.
Sure, go ahead, Trevor.
All right. Since graduating, Frank has held numerous positions in 2 of the top aerospace companies in the world, ranging from project manager, vice president of programs, vice president of business development, and most recently, vice president of operations and programs. And a quote from him: "In every position I've held since graduating, I have leveraged the skills learned in both the MS and TSM and the AGC in industrial management, use of quantitative methods, project management, system concepts, and decision-making are daily skills in leading technical teams."
Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, so I was really pleased with the response that Mr. Frank Casano was sharing with us, because he has been in the industry for close to 20 years now. And we get to see how he was growing within the organization itself. And obviously he wants to go into operations, and we can see how his background in his background in TSM has been supplementing him to grow within the field itself. And within the span of 20 years, he is in a management position and one of the, in the top of the hierarchy within L3 Harris. So our next one is actually a PhD candidate right now. Anyone wants to take a shot at reading what Karis is sharing with us about TSM? Anyone?
I can go next if you want, Kashani.
Sure, go ahead.
In 2017, Karis worked as an intern for the DY Corporation, a global construction equipment manufacturing company based in South Korea. In 2018, Karis became an IT and operations support technician at SUNY Korea. Karis is currently a fellow at Tando Inc., where he connects difficult problems with technological solutions and markets.
Hi, Sona, do you want to finish reading the quotes as well?
Sure, yes. Given a socio-technical and relational understanding of the world, TSM equips students with a design orientation. One is aware of their capacity to introduce change in the world by creating artifacts and systems. The future is not fixed, but probable, and people have a part to play in creating it. Throughout my undergrad and grad programs, I enjoyed projects where I could create something, whether that was a marketing plan, an app prototype, or even a corporate digital strategy. These projects built my confidence and repertoire as a designer.
Thank you, Sona, and nice seeing you here. So one of the reason we were so pleased with Chris's spotlight information is that he's a student who was very much open to opportunities, and he knew that what made him happy. And now he's a PhD candidate, and he has been having global experiences, working outside of US and getting experience outside of US based on his interest itself. It's not really his major that actually driven him to this opportunity, but his passion for working, enjoying projects and creating something that's from his codes itself that actually allowed him to gain all these experiences. And last but not least, we have Joanna Shan. Anyone wants to take a shot of reading this because I really loved her quotes here. Anyone? Come on.
Sure.
Sure. Go ahead, Am.
Okay. As a research assistant at Nanyang Technical University, Joanna worked with Facebook's data center in Singapore, exploring how green technology and data centers can work together. Going to be honest, it was a little difficult because, especially with TSM grads, there's so many different types of them. I spent my time selling myself as a Hollister engineer, and I had taken the FE, the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, and I ended up in a company that was doing energy performance contracts.
Thank you so much, Amber. So the reason why I loved Joanna, she's a wonderful person to chat with. She's obviously currently outside of the US. She's actually based in Singapore right now. And I was so thrilled to understand that her interest has been in research. It's not about industry or anything. And she's always wanted to be in research, and she was a research assistant, and now she's a research associate at the same university that she did her master's in. And she shares, she was from coding herself, she brands herself as a holistic engineer, and that's who she is. That's how she identifies herself as. And that positive, that mindset really changes the way how you would perceive your job search. If you are going into someone who is just research interested in just research and nothing else, then you can get advanced degrees or kind of divert your attention away from management and go into research, and get some background information about what it's like what it's like pursuing an opportunity within research itself. So if you want to chat with Joanna, she's amazing. She was so excited to share her experience with us, and she's excited to welcome you guys and have a chat with you. So please take some time to connect with her on LinkedIn if you're interested in research, and also if you're interested in working outside of the US. So she's a great contact for you guys, and hopefully these 3 alumni spotlights give you an understanding of what it is out there. And just your bachelor's is just the one step. If you are someone who loves going to school and love learning, there's always the master's, the PhD, and opportunities outside of the US available for you, whether it's in industry, if it's research, if it's just altogether engineering and management. There's plenty of opportunities out there for you guys. And one of the first steps you can take is connect with those who are pursuing exactly what you want to be pursuing. And now going into some ending notes. So through the Career Center, obviously I mentioned earlier that I've been working for a long time with Myowa, and I had the pleasure of learning how well we can work with the TSM Major. And in order for us to help you guys, we want you to come to us. So the only way we can give you resources and give you that information that you need to succeed is for you guys to actually come in and have a chat with us, bring your questions. It's okay if you're just so confused, we can work through that. So come to us so that we can have a more one-on-one session about your own job searching process and strategies with a TSM degree. Because as you all know, this is a multidisciplinary study, so there's no one direct route to the strategies. So right now, to kind of give you guys some comfort in job opportunities, your industry it's always growing. The industry that you chose, it's always growing. There's a lot of opportunities coming up. And if you're someone who is interested in working in tech companies, there's opportunities there. Overall, if you're looking for companies to work in, anything that manages information, data, or logistics, they are a great place, and that opportunity is always existing within it. And also, Professor Moriarty mentioned manufacturing, transportation, MTA, and even consumer goods. E-commerce is a huge thing now. So if any of these interests you, feel free to look at companies that are doing exactly this and apply through their website if you would like. Or if you find there's companies and you want to look at that company on Handshake, you can do that as well. Or if you're interested, come to us, talk to us, and we'll be able to give you guidance as how you can connect with these companies. And overall, I just want you guys to remember that with this major, there is a lot of confusion that comes with it, but you should ask yourself these questions. Where do you see yourself working? As in, once again, are you someone who likes being in the background and just, doing things and just going home after work? or you're someone who is just want changes. Amber was saying that I don't like to stay in one place all the time. I want changes. Or are you someone who wants changes? Or are you someone who loves talking, like one of our alumni from earlier, as a sales engineer? Are you someone who likes going up to in front of people in new places and talking and sharing and marketing your product? And what do you see yourself doing? All of these two questions are so helpful in identifying and narrowing down some opportunities for you guys. Because it is a multidisciplinary studies, there's more opportunities, but there's also a lot of confusion that comes to what would make you guys happy. So some strategies I want you to leave this presentation with is, develop your career competencies. Maya also mentioned that he's building his information, he is touching upon his computer science aspect when he's presenting himself to the employers. And our alumni spotlight members were also mentioning how they are marketing themselves based on the skills that they're learning from classes and projects, as well as things from their specializations, and it's a combination. So please build your career competencies. We want you to be ready for opportunities, not just in the US, but also global opportunities. So if you are someone who is interested in opening up and exploring the field itself, we can help you with that. And this is the second bullet is in reference to Joanna, who labeled herself as a holistic engineer. This is a holistic degree. There is so much of variation and so many combinations that you can get from this degree. It all comes down with a positive mindset that, okay, I chose this, and why did I choose this? And what I want to do with this, or what makes me happy, what doesn't make me happy. All of these questions will help you create a positive mindset about your degree itself. And once again, chat with us. Your first connection to this career opportunities is through a career coach right now. So feel free to chat with me, or chat with Todd, or even Alfreda, and just share your thoughts with us. What's bothering you? What kind of questions do you guys have for us? Or what happened to you when you were searching for an internship or a job? What were they saying? So share that information with us, and we'll be able to help you better. And last but not least, TSM alumni. So if you're struggling to find connection with TSM alumni on LinkedIn, I can help you with that. I did, my one of my interns and I took our time to connect with alumni here, and it is a little tedious work, but connecting with alumni is so meaningful, because the relationship that you build with them, it can last you a lifetime. They can become your mentor, they can become your sponsor. You will have this person who might have traveled in the same way as you, that you can continue on to keep. Like, for those of you who just plan on going into TSM, they can be your mentor, and you can talk to them through your entire program and even after. So it's great to have an alumni contact. So that's my last tips for job searching strategies right now. And then I want to leave you guys with some resources that is available to you right now. Is obviously you have Handshake, and if you're having trouble searching through Handshake, feel free to come to us, and we will be able to give you a session on how to search and how to filter information. And also Career Center, Todd and I provide career coaching appointments. We do resumes and cover letter reviews and mock interview that I just did with Mayowa. So it's always nice. There's no such thing as one-time appointments. You can always come back, ask us questions and drop-ins, and you can make an appointment. And Todd and I also have drop-in hours on Tuesdays from 1 to 5 at different locations. And our information can be found on our website. And also, once again, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook are a great resource for you to keep yourself connected to alumni, and even us, if you want to follow us and get some industry information. And lastly, we do have a job and internship marketplace. It is a hyperlink. So when I do share this presentation with you guys, you will have access to this. So when you click on this, it takes you to our Career Center website, which lists out every opportunities, not every opportunities, but outside of Handshake, there are plenty of places that you can find jobs and internships. So we listed them out, even remote opportunities. So if something that interests you, kind of, spend some time searching through them. And also, if you have any questions about them, you can always come to us, and we'll be able to help you more. And here, just a mention of 3 companies that we talked about earlier. And Q&A. I know we are at 2 o'clock right now. I don't have anything after this. I don't know, Milo and Todd, if you have anything after this. I can stick around for a little bit if you have any questions. If you have any questions and you just want to chat with us, and we're more than happy to stay a little bit and talk to you guys. And also Professor Moriarty is here too.
Oh, just a question. Oh, sorry. Someone else.
I'm just going to stop recording. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.